So that was a little meme stock update. I said I will do updates if there are significant movements or something is changing, and we have a few. So as always, I'm using this method here for all my tracking, also for memes. For more explanation, watch the weekly recap video. So we start with Bed Bath & Beyond, the bullish and the bearish, because I will always show both. The thing for Bed Bath & Beyond is, I will show you the bullish version, but in my opinion we already broke levels where this one is wrong. Here's the bullish version, and that would mean we came from our top, lower high, midpoint. This would be your T, and the last peak we had was our A peak, and we would be in our A pullback, and we should have bounced 2 weeks ago. So if a wonder is happening, which I'm not believing, you should have bounced 2 weeks ago. Everything over 12,667 is bullish, whatever it would happen. And your next target would be $36, then pull back to 22, and then breaking all-time highs or not. Which, to what I'm really leaning 99% right now, in my opinion, is just this, where you will find a new low under 354. If it's a higher low to 2020 or a lower low to 2020, we have to see. Whatever you will do in this range here, you will get a bounce. That would be your V and A, then a higher low, and then you go. A would be at 12, B at 37 again. Why I'm thinking that? Just because we now broke my B line on the lower time frames the 4th time. Yeah, I can show that. We also tried to get over it again. We weren't able to hold it over it. We weren't able to. We already made the new low yesterday. And the most important thing is, it is the same movement like in 2020, where you came from your T, you bounced one last time, you did M or W pattern, same like here, M or W pattern, and the right side is higher, and then your knife. And as I already showed in the last videos, in my opinion, we would be in this candle right here, the last bounce. Right now, not anymore. In my opinion, we would already be in this candle here. And we are way slower right now because it's the repetition of the fractal, but in my opinion, here was your bounce candle, and we're already starting the knife candle right now. So if we get whatever a massive bounce here and break 1285, I will be the first one who says, okay, my opinion was wrong. Let's see what it will do. So next one is the GT, the bullish and the bearish. Here also, in my opinion, we broke levels where, in my opinion, the bullish version is over. But just in case, for the bullish version, we would start now already the 4th fractal. Here would be the first one, here the second one. We would ending right now this 3rd one and would start the 4th one right now. The only problem is with this drop in this week, this V under A is dead because we went lower. So this one is dead. So we have to find, and this higher low also. This is also that because we went lower. So the only thing which maybe is saving us is for the bullish tracking. We still have space till 11.76. You're not allowed to touch this trend line or break under it, of course. Why not touching? Just because V&A is not a double bottom. It isn't. So you could still say your higher low has still the chance to bounce here, and then you go. In that case, this would be a T. So everything, my bull line is still standing. If we get a bounce somewhere here, everything over 2096 is bullish, and the bearish version is that. Your next target would be 30-ish, 30, 50-ish for your little a, then 33-ish for your little b. And the only thing which we are looking for the bullish tracking is breaking this peak. For this tracking, we have to break $58. If we're making a lower high, so if our next C is here, this would be already the fourth time, the death spiral is continuing, and that would be bad for DGT. For the alternative, if you break this line here, this is the alternative. It's the beer version, but in my opinion, this would be more bullish than the bullish version. First of all, it's only one fractal, which is finishing right now. And all in all, you're coming from your all-time high. You did your lower low. This was your midpoint. This, our last C peak in the bullish version, would have been your last time to sell. And the thing for this is, you have to finish this. You have to do at least a new low to 1174. You have to come down here. If you're doing a new all-time low or a higher low to 2021, doesn't matter. So you would get here bounce or you would get here bounce. So anything under 1174 to I wouldn't think we go way lower. Let's say $8. You would do your V on A here. Then you do your higher low. Then you go. For A, your target would be 57. Most likely because this is over the trend line. You will do a breakout retest or a 0.5 pullback wherever our V is. Then you go to your B, also a pullback, and then you see if C is breaking all-time highs or not. Isn't that important in that case, just because it would be only the second time. So I wouldn't talk about the death spiral if we're making a lower high, lower peak here if we're doing this. And with movements and how this would look like, if you look at the last runs, I wouldn't even expect, I mean, V and higher low, that's for sure. If we're doing the A and A pullback, B and the pullback, in that case, if you look at the past, you always had a V, higher low, and then a quite quick run to your C point. Here the same. For the micro tracking, V, higher low, and just a run to the peak. From IPO to V, higher low, A, B, C. So if I look at the past, I wouldn't think of that this run, if we are finished with the higher low, would take that long. Because if you're just repeating the past, which fractals are doing, I would say if this is finished with the V higher low, you should get a pretty quick run to whatever price target our all-time high then is. Okay. Next one. The beloved meme stock AMC. Bullish and bearish. And there's bullish and bearish. For the bull version, first of all, we are looking at the microphone pattern. So wherever, if we are doing our higher low, or if we're doing an all-time low, wherever we are finished. And if you look at 2020, you touched one time this lower trend line. The second our V and our higher low didn't touch this lower trend line anymore. Right now, we are quite doing the same. In April 2024, we touched the trend line. And I think we won't touch it again. We could go a little bit lower, but I don't think we come near this trend line again. And for the upside, in my opinion, it would make really sense that we go near the upper trend line. So anything over our last C, which is at 387, maybe even touching the trend line again to the upper side, which would be something between 700 and 800. For the complete overview, we did our 2020 run with our A, B, C, then lower high, midpoint, perfectly working with the B trend line to our M. Then in July 2023 was our last time to sell. And for the bullish version, April 2024 was our lowest point, our bottom, and since then till today we just doing our higher low. I will show that in close capture too. But for the next thing, wherever our bottom and our small V and A is finished, our next target for A would be 75. And our next target for B would be 152, and C we will see. If we're doing a one or two part squeeze, a two part squeeze would be we go to A, getting a 0.5 pullback or even a retest, then go to B, little pullback and C, or if we're just doing a one part squeeze, we will see. I still think it will be a two part squeeze because fractals are repeating. And I wouldn't call it squeeze, it's just a chat test. It's just a repetition of the past. It doesn't matter if hedge funds are liquidated, all this blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. We just repeat what we did in the past. And for this, in my opinion, we do the A, pull back, then B. B, in my opinion, can happen without a pullback because in 2020 it was the same. But A, I think A will get a pullback. For what we have done and what we have to do. Here. The thing, to think about the bullish version, we are not allowed to drop under 239. Because then, if we drop or touch 239, this isn't higher low anymore. Right now, it still looks good. We still have a little bit place. If we fall or touch 239, the old is taking place. I will show that later. For what we have done in the last weeks. My problem is this V and A right now is wrong. That is over. Just because we did a double button yesterday here. So whatever we are doing, we have to find one lower low. For me, that's 100% fact. If this one lower low is lower than 246 or not, doesn't matter. The only thing which is important, we don't allow it to drop under 235, 239. So we will go lower now. We will. If we go lower and find our V then, our V and A, we still have to do a higher low. And I really say that because I see that at so many YouTubers who are saying next week. I will show you this. Every time we did our V, we needed 24 or 28 days to do the higher low, and then we go. Here, that was the same in April 2024. In April 2025, we did 26 days for our high low. AMC isn't squeezing out of the V. It isn't. It never did. The only chance we have after the higher low, then we are squeezing. And if you look at 2020, it was shorter. Here you had your V, and it took you 9 to 10 days for your higher low. Why? Just because this was the first time. This was the first time, and now we are way slower, and that's why it's taking 26 to 29 days. But, and that's why I'm saying it's not next week. There's no chance for it. Just because we didn't found our V yet. We didn't found our V yet. And even if this was our V, if you take 26 days from here, it's 2nd of December. You are not squeezing in November. You can make the higher low in November, but you're not squeezing in December. I'm 99.999 in November. I am 99.999% sure you have no chance to squeeze or chat test or however you call it in November. You just don't. And we will see if I'm right. We really will see. But these idiots of every other meme stock YouTuber are telling you next week this short fund is liquidated. Next week the phase to deliver has to cover. And all this bullshit. Was it working the last 5 years? So, for the bearish version, I mean, it's quite the same. The only difference for the bearish version is if you break 245, so the low of April, I really think we will do an all-time low. But as I already said in the bullish version, I don't think it will be down here. It will be most like, in my opinion, something over $2. Which would be, in my opinion, you will see this in December. And then again, you're waiting for your higher low, most likely 26 days. And then we are in okay, this is way too high. I'm looking at the daily right now, so don't take this word for word. Let's say we're doing this till December. Then 26 days, and you're in January. And then you go. One little warning, because I also am reading all the time just by Januaries, then you are absolutely safe. If you look at this, our last chat test was May 2024. This was May 2025. There was a full year between them. I see a big possibility that the next run, which has to be, in my opinion, the big one, could just be again. You're doing your higher low till end of April, and then in May 2026 you get the run. I see a big possibility January will be nothing, or just the little run into higher low. Be careful. Wait for the confirmation of the higher low. Last one is KOSS. Here is our KOSS. Do you have a bearish alternative for KOSS? Yeah. Okay. So, for the bullish, complete overview, just for the big tracking. Till January 85 was just our higher low. From January 1985 till February 2020 was just our A. And right now, we would be in our B. To be exact, we would be in our B pullback. Next thing would be our C. So what have we done? Here is the tracking. The only problem here also, B, just to say that, doesn't have to do a V under A, only a 0.5. It can end in a higher low. So the only problem with KOSS right now is we said this could have been your V and this your higher low. And we're not allowed to break this B line. We broke it. So this V is wrong. Even this V is wrong in my opinion. So this was your T, the big hold candle. So for this, we need to do a new low. T has to end in a new low from its start. So whatever it's doing, I think we still need a lower low than this. Something under 354. There you get your V under A, this V under A, then higher low, same like AMC and DGT and Bad Buff and Beyond, and then you go. And for price targets, the B at the C has to be higher than the B. So anything over 172. And if you believe in the theory that all memes are synchronized, January till June, same as AMC. For the small tracking, your next little A would be at 8.66, B 10.56, and if you break these levels, it's absolutely bullish. For the bearish part, here's the bearish part. You would still, and that's the scary part, I'm not really believing this, but always have an alternative. That would mean that January 85 was, you have to think about hidden data. So you would come from your C. This would be the end of the fractal, and from 1985 the new one would start. So this would just be your higher low. From December 2020, you just did your A. And the problem with this is that you would go way lower. The last peak that we made wasn't our T, it would have been our midpoint. Same like the bullish version, we would have to do a new low, but we would have to do a new low under 229. Then you would bounce, reject the trend line. This would be your T. And then you need one lower low to whatever it is. And down here would be a V and A. But it has to be lower than 80 cents. It has to higher. It has to be higher than March 2020. Because of prices, because this is only a share play, there are no contracts. That isn't so much. Okay, I mean from $5 to maybe $1. Okay, isn't not so much. The only problem I really see here is time. Because you see this, KOSS isn't really moving quick. I mean, you see the higher low in this case took what? 40 years. Only A took till now 5 years. To finish this, it would take at least 3 additional years. And that's why I have this as an art. But I don't think that Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, DGT or GME is taking another 3 years. So if this is happening, KOSS is doing this on its own. But this isn't quick. Just saying. Okay. So if you have questions, write it in the comments. If you have wishes for other stocks, write it please in the playlist of the normal stocks, because this is only meme playlist. If you liked it, leave me a like. I also shot bullish version. Okay, not everything is doom and gloom. Okay, so see you next time.